Hi, my name is Grace GAUSTAD. I'm on We Found New Music with Grant Owens, and this is my song, Jupiter.
I had a hard time walking by your house today, 'cause there were two kids standing in the driveway. It's like I knew them, I had so many things to say, but she didn't listen, she didn't get it, the magic was drifting. And she's on the other side of Jupiter, and she don't want anybody touching her. And if you love her, please just let her hurt, 'cause she doesn't want your love, she'd rather burn back to earth, back to earth. I had a hard time seeing how it all played out. I could've helped her, knowing what I know now. I tell her that they'll throw you away and make you afraid, and say that you're no good for anything. But fuck what they say, they don't know the way to outer space. But she's on the other side of Jupiter, and she don't want anybody touching her. And if you love her, please just let her hurt, 'cause she doesn't want your love, she'd rather burn back to earth, back to earth. I had a hard time walking by your house today, 'cause there were two kids standing in the driveway. And she's on the other side of Jupiter, and she don't want anybody touching her. And if you love her, please just let her hurt, 'cause she doesn't want your love, she'd rather burn back to earth, back to earth.
Hi, my name is Grace GAUSTAD, and I'm on We Found New Music with Grant Owens, and this is my song, Ragdoll.
I did everything right, how reassuring was I, when you asked me if I meant it. I told you that I dreamt it into my life, but all of my light got swept under the mattress. I made friends up in the attic, in the back of the cupboard that you barely remember, next to your favorite sweater. But you found something better, so leave it to me. Smile fall, 'cause nobody's better at the circus. Just watch me, I will run in circles, trying to be someone you love. Honey, I will change my colors to nothing, as long as I can be one of your ragdolls. Oh, one of your ragdolls. Pick me off of the shelf and dust me off with your mouth. Let me play with all the jewels and crown myself the fool for falling back in, believing again in your empty words of romance. I found myself a slow dance in the back of the cupboard that you barely remember, next to your favorite sweater. But you found something better, so leave it to me to smile as fall. 'Cause nobody's better at the circus. Just watch me, I will run in circles, trying to be so in love. Honey, I will change my colors to nothing as long as I can be one of your rag dolls. Ooh, one of your rag dolls. Medicine's never enough to cure when you've fallen in love. So just look at what I've become, a floating piece of paper, just begging for a stapler. So leave it to me to smile as I fall. 'Cause nobody's better at the circus. Just watch me, I will run in circles, trying to be so in love. Honey, I will change my colors to nothing as long as I can be one of your rag dolls.
I'm Grant Owens on We Found New Music. We are so pleased to be joined by Grace GAUSTAD in the studio. Welcome to We Found New Music.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're thrilled to finally bring you on the show. You just performed 2 songs for us, Ragdoll and Jupiter. I believe one of them is out. And then Ragdoll, why don't you just tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, so Jupiter's out. That was on my first album, Black Box. And Ragdoll is the first song that I wrote for my 3rd album, which is not out yet. It's sort of like the kicking off point for the next era. And it's a song that I really like to play. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever written. It's easy. And I think the message of the song is sort of like, you know, you have people in your life that kind of make you feel less than you are. And it's sort of a song that's about like empowerment and sort of getting over that and being like, I don't need you to pick me. I'm going to pick myself, you know? So I think that as far as the message goes, it's really resonating with me right now.
Awesome. We're going to get into all of that. But Ragdoll, something to look forward to, while Jupiter is a song you can go stream right now off of the new EP and everything that's out right now, the album, Black Box. When did you start singing?
I started singing when I was super young. My mom tells a story about how she brought me home from the hospital, and at 3 days old, she kind of was like, eh, and I was like, eh, and I would do these little like noises back to her. So 3 days old is my first answer, but my second answer is that I really started singing a lot when I started playing piano, which was about age 5. I started to sort of like play and sing and just make up, you know, random songs and things like that. So probably around then.
So that's when you knew this was kind of something that was natural to you and just something you probably would pursue. How about writing? When did you start writing? Do you write a lot of your own music? What can you elaborate on with that?
Yeah, so I started writing probably around the same age. So the second I could play an instrument, I figured out that I could write like my own songs. But I would say I got really serious about it maybe around 8 or 9. Every day after school, I would go to recording studios, and I had a couple producers that I would work with, and they would just let me, you know, write songs. And I mean, looking back now, the songs sound kind of silly, but I'm also, as a 21-year-old, I'm very impressed with what I was able to do at 8 and 9, just because, you know, it's crazy to think that like I had that many ideas at that time.
Definitely.
But yeah, I got really serious probably about then. And I mean, I love music so much, I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Well, you're a veteran. You started so young, and I mean, you're still so young. You're 21 years old, but music's in your blood. You've been doing this your whole life, and you have a lot of music out already. Who are some of your favorite artists?
My all-time favorite is Lady Gaga. I've been a huge Gaga fan since I was like a little kid. So Gaga's a big one. You know, I love Taylor Swift along with everybody else in the world.
Totally.
And then I also, you know, I grew up listening to a lot of like my parents' music. So a lot of, you know, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, the Beatles, people like that. So I think like it's interesting for me to sort of dive into like the catalog of music that I grew up with, because on one hand I had like these big pop acts, and then on the other hand I had like these legends who you know, sort of cultivated music as we know it today.
You're lucky they had
yeah,
good
I
music
got both.
taste, and you
I
were
got
able to
both.
grow up with some of the legends to kind of steer your music in maybe a more deeper direction.
For sure.
Gaga is definitely somebody that you seem to reference a little bit in your music. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that my favorite type of music is dance music. It's not always what I write, but it is the music that I think I listen to the most. It just makes me feel incredible, and something that I really have always appreciated about Lady Gaga, and I've also included this in my own work, is that, you know, she has dance records and they sound super fun, and like you're listening to them, you're in the club, you're dancing, it's great. And if you sit down and you read the lyrics, you're like, wow, something is being said here that's like a really incredible message. And so I love the idea of kind of disguising these like really big messages, you know, within dance music, because it's not always something that people expect. So, you know, I like to play my dance records stripped down so that people have a chance to hear what I'm actually saying.
Wow. Great answer. I think that's so important, you know, to be well-rounded as an artist. Why is linear storytelling so central to your albums?
You know, I grew up as a storyteller. I was always making up short stories, and I think songs in and of themselves are sort of stories from, you know, beginning to end. I think that it really started with Black Box. I kind of did it on accident, and then figured that I would continue with it. But Black Box is the story of the first 18 years of my life, and sort of all the things that I went through while growing up. And you know, I knew that I wanted to tell it in a linear way so that people could sort of follow along with the ages that I was at during each of the songs, and so on.
So do you have a favorite song off of Black Box?
Ooh, tough. It's probably Jupiter. But I think, you know, asking an artist to pick a favorite song is almost like asking them to pick like a favorite child. So I think, like, you know, that's a tough answer. I mean, I really enjoy Creature. It's one of my favorites to listen to on the album, but yeah, maybe Jupiter is gonna be my answer for now.
It's hard to pick a favorite. You
have
so many, very confident songs that you write, and strong chorus and verse. I'm really excited to see where you go as an artist, and I like that you already have so many themes going so early in your career. So Black Box, Pillbox, Matchbox are out now. What is Pillbox about?
Pillbox is about fantasies. You know, it's called Pillbox. What's your fantasy? It's you know, it's a project about if you could sort of take a pill or open a pillbox and kind of be swept into a magical world, where would you go? What would you change about yourself? What would you do? You know, if you watch the Pillbox music videos, you know, they take you on a journey. You know, I have a song called Gaga on Pillbox, and it's about if I could be Lady Gaga for a day. You know, I've got a song called Beauty and the Beast, and what it would be like to be the most beautiful person in the world, and also, you know, other things that might come with that. You know, there's all sorts of hidden messages intertwined in that project, but I think, like, if I had to kind of pick a word to describe it, it would be fantasy.
Amazing. All right, go stream all of these EPs, albums. What can we expect from the next album?
I mean, the next album is very honest. I think it's honest in a way that I really haven't been before. I think if Pillbox was sort of fantasy, the next one's reality, and what life actually looks like, good, bad, and the in-between. And it's a project that I've sort of written without any rules. I would say that Black Box and Pillbox, they were both very structured in my process. And this one, I've kind of just, you know, let it all go. And I've just written the music that I really want to write.
So Pillbox is the most recent album.
Yes.
Came out in June. Definitely go stream that now. We are so thrilled to have you performing at Weathon Music tonight. And thank you for performing a couple tracks acoustic for us. Grace GAUSTAD, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we will keep an eye on your journey.
Thanks.